Hey guys, this is StarTech Reviews, and thank you for joining me for this review of the Blue Life View smartphone. I've already done an unboxing and first impressions of this device, so let's jump into a full-fledged review. And basically, after using it for a week, what my impressions of it are now. Blue, a company based out of Miami, Florida, is dedicated to making affordable smartphones for the prepaid consumer market. And I really think they've done a great job with this smartphone in particular, with it being only at $299 retail price. My initial impressions? Extremely positive at first. And I say at first because after a little bit of time that changed. The metal back did not seem so metal after the first few days, when it really is not metal. It's just faked metal or copy off metal, whatever you want to call it. It's not metal, it's some sort of hard plastic. While that did deter my initial impression, it still does a fantastic job of protecting the phone, and I have not scratched it one time, even though I've had a few close calls, I think. Now, for $299, most people do not expect a lot from a smartphone. I don't expect a lot from a smartphone. But for that price point, this smartphone does deliver. With a 5.7-inch screen at 720p HD, a 1.2 GHz quad-core processor, 1 GB of RAM, a 12 megapixel back camera, and a 5 megapixel front camera, I'd say this delivers a lot more than its price point may say that it delivers. So, most people don't look at the specs, or I should say most consumers don't look at the specs, they look at the experience. So how is the experience of this smartphone? In one word, impressive. Actually, very impressive. With the scrolling of web pages being so fluid for a 1 GB of RAM device, it's impressive and not lacking in any sort of way. With the camera, that is also impressive, to say the least. Once again, the camera, with this picture taken, very good contrast as well as focus on the flower, and a blurred out background to better focus on its object, with the colors being very green and vibrant and pink for the flower. This is definitely a very good quality picture from a $299 smartphone. Now you may be saying, well, yes, scrolling and the camera are good, but that isn't everything to a smartphone. Graphics are something. And yes, that's true as well. Graphics are very important to the average consumer. And with this smartphone, when it comes to gaming, I wouldn't say that it competes with devices like the HTC One or the Samsung Galaxy S4 or even the Note 3, which is a better comparison. I wouldn't say in terms of graphics that it competes because of their extremely high graphics and capabilities just for their specifications. But for a $299 smartphone, this does an impressive job at graphics. So as you can see, here is Real Racing 3, and the proximity sensor, or should I say the gyroscope, works very well in terms of smooth moving, and that is definitely important. The graphics are stunning on this 5.7-inch 720p HD screen. Another thing is multitasking, and even if I'm in a game, I can go back home and there is a small stutter, but then scrolling, perfect, and the game is running in the background. If I want to go into Chrome, it opens up Chrome, loads, okay, decent job, scrolls perfectly. The game, hopefully it did not close, is still running in the background. And I can finish the game, and I just multitask with 1 GB of RAM with hardly any stutter. That is impressive on a phone like this, and that's not to be taken lightly either. With a phone that can multitask when you're playing a game and even scroll smoothly, that is a very important feature to many people. So just going home here, there is a small stutter, as I mentioned before, and I can just go back into Chrome and it scrolls perfectly. Just perfectly. That is one feature and, experience that had to be nailed, and I believe that they did nail that. So you might be saying, wow, okay, this can do something, but what you've shown me so far is not everything. And granted, I cannot show you everything about this smartphone and all of its capabilities, but I can tell you that it is a fantastic smartphone that delivers experience. In terms of speakers though, for the audiophile, this is not the phone for you. If for a good listening experience, you have to use their provided earbuds or a very good pair of headphones for the listening experience to be good. And the onboard speaker is lacking, to say the least. The speaker is located right on the back of the device and is very small, and it suffers for that reason, where your hand blocks it, and if it's on a table of any sort, it also blocks it more so than reflecting it, which is another problem. With it blocking all the time, that does not deliver a good experience, especially if you're watching a video and your hand is blocking it right here. I find myself having to cup it more to get the sound out, and it's not even very loud, much less good quality. So that is another important thing that people will want to consider when purchasing this smartphone. Everything about this smartphone sounds surprisingly good. So what about call quality? Because this is a phone, how is the call quality? Well, surprisingly, very good. With the speaker grill right up top, and even though it may look a little silly to put a 5.7-inch screen right to your face, it still is impressive quality. And with the microphone right at the bottom next to the USB port, it still delivers even though it is oddly placed. And with the dual SIM capabilities, you can call using 2 different SIM cards, which is important to most people, or a lot of people I should say, who are traveling overseas. So overall, this smartphone, if you can get over the fake metal back, which still provides good protection without scratching, and the lack of speaker quality, then this smartphone may be for you at $299. Now this does not have NFC, and some sort of wireless charging looks like it's there, but not quite. They have yet to deliver something that will actually work with this device to charge it wireless. So is this smartphone for you? Well, that is purely your decision. See, if you don't like the large screen, or maybe the bad speaker, or the lack of impressive specs, then this probably is not for you. But if you're not one to care as much about specs as you do about experience, then as you have seen, this has proven itself in experience and speed, and just might be the phone for you. If you are wondering about the size, because this is a large phone and makes my large hands look fairly small, then go into your local Best Buy, look at the Galaxy Note 3, and compare it, because they are the exact same size. Well, that is my review of the Blue Life View from Blue. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys later. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.